Hello, beautiful. What is it you're looking for? What's the rush? What's the hurry? There is nothing missing. Everything is already whole, complete, and total. It is merely a mental idea and story that something is missing and that you need to go find it. It's quite the paradox, yeah? But awakening, what we call awakening or enlightenment, has nothing to do with you getting something. It has nothing to do with you adding something on to yourself. It has nothing to do with spiritual highs, experiences, or attainment. How do you attain that which already is? That which you already are? You can't, it's futile. There's only the great mystery, which we want to label God or the beloved or the universe, appearing as whatever is appearing. The phone, these words, the beautiful birds. Everything is already singing. All is one. This is it. This is total. Nothing to find here. All is well is really what everything is saying. Now, within the dream experience of feeling like a person, there seems to be a self-fulfilling prophecy where beliefs, ideas, past experiences seem to be regurgitated in this very beautiful neutral portrait we call life. You see, so that's why awakening has nothing to do with changing beliefs or believing this message. There's nothing to believe here. You can't actually believe this. That would just be another mental rodeo. But when the belief and the believer seem to dissolve, there's no longer this feedback loop of distortions, like let's say unworthiness or insecurity or I'm not there yet. How do I find enlightenment? All of these stories seem to be painted onto this neutral portrait, right? And so if we have beliefs of we need more, well, life will appear as, hey, you need more. A teacher will appear, a billboard will appear, a text message will appear. Hey, you need more so you can be whole, total, complete, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's always something on sale for the seeker. There's always something on sale for the person. Because it's always constantly living in a, woe is me. What's next? How do I get there? How do I have a better experience? Awakening has nothing to do with you having a better experience. It's quite literally the dissolvement of the you think you are. The one who wants that. The one who needs that. The mind will seem to feed and speak all kinds of ideas of what awakening enlightenment is. It'll look like this, it'll feel like that, it'll be like this. It's quite literally simple and ordinary. It's this without the added commentary of how do I maintain this? How do I control it? What do I do next? Why am I here? What's my purpose? All of that falls away and there's just a naturalness. It's very natural and organic, very simple. What is complex is identity, what we call identity, what we call mind. The story of time is what's complex. You see, and the reason why it's so complex is because, well, it knows it's finite. It knows it's not going to last. That's why it's trying to stuff experiences in constantly. It's always distracting itself with more experiences. It's starving. It's never full. But what I speak to is already a fullness. It's an empty fullness. Simultaneously. But really, the me is like dirty laundry. It's constantly having to clean, and it looks back around. Oh my God, the laundry's dirty again. Clean again. Oh my God, it's dirty again. Symbolically for healing, transmuting, reaching, new states of consciousness, all of these different things. It's always cyclical. very cyclical. But there's something here that's not a thing that can see through that cyclical madness. You could call it the still point, the eye of the hurricane. It does not matter. They're not separate, I must say. Even what we call the person or identity is a manifestation of wholeness, is a manifestation of this great mystery. So it's not wrong, but obviously it's very limited. It feels very constipated. It feels very, yeah. And what I speak to is already free. It's already in joy. It's already in peace. That's its natural aroma. Yeah. But in what we call awakening or organic, anything can appear. Pain, pleasure, the common cold, pregnancy. Can't see my belly, but almost 30 weeks pregnant here. So anything can appear. It's very natural. We're speaking about life, not a fantasy of life. We're speaking about life. Nature, the wild, which is what is. But you see, when there's an idea of identity that arises, it's living in a better or worse. I need to renunciate. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't think that. I shouldn't wear that. I shouldn't do. It's always about shouldn'ts or should haves. It's never about what simply is. And I speak to what simply is without all those ideas. Because all those ideas you have of what you think enlightenment and awakening is, they're hand-me-downs. They're not original. Not original. And so what we see in the world is it's a lot of Xeroxes, a lot of copies, because everyone's afraid to be themselves naturally. But if I do that, then I'm not safe. You see? So we hide behind conformity as a safety net. And it's not anyone's fault. It's like a reflex or a habit. You see? But everything I speak of here, your heart knows this. And when I say the heart, I speak of intuition, beingness, that which can't be defined, because beingness can't even be defined. But none of this is mental. None of this is knowledge-based. It's completely intuitive. Because you know all of this. You know all of this here. Just not here, and you don't need to know it here. It's not necessary. Life doesn't need you to know anything or to get anything because it doesn't even see a separate you. And so awakening is really just you without the you in a sense. And that may be a little confusing, but it's just you without the added insecurity or doubt or arrogance of intense knowing, separation, doubt. All of that seems to fall away. Neurosis seems to fall away. And so it's not bland vanilla. Some beings think, oh, well, if I wake up, if everything just dissolves, then I'm just going to be boring and I'll have no friends and I won't be creative. Well, there's already no you who's doing anything anyways. That's the dream. That's the illusion. So what falls away is just the added commentary of insecurity or doubt or arrogance. That's what falls away. Yeah. So if you were a painter before, because there is no before or after, there's going to still be painting. There'll still be dancing, singing, eating cheesecake, rolling in the dirt, making love. All of these things still appear. It's delicious. It's beautiful. We're speaking about fucking life. Life as it is, not what you think it should be. And so it's not just about silence and stillness, however that can appear. Anything can appear. Thoughts can appear. Emotions can appear. There's just a softness. There's less gravity to it. There's not such a vortex to it, a momentum. Because no one's really interested. No one kneels to what we call mind anymore. And so it just loses its gravity in a sense. But there's no way to shut up the mind, and there's no way to shut up the person, because that would still be the person taking on a new energy form or shape, saying, I want to get rid of the person. I want to get rid of the ego. How do I do that? Well, it's not there already, so how do you get rid of an illusion? You think you know who you are, and that's the veil. How do you know nothing? We're just fed we need to have identity, a name tag, a purpose. Yeah. And I'm not saying roles don't appear. Sure, roles can appear. Like I just said, I'm pregnant. I've got a 5-year-old daughter named Luna. I'm engaged. Roles appear. There's just no one who's attached to them anymore. It's all a play. It's all a play. Chop wood, carry water. However, no one's chopping the wood, and no one is carrying the water. It's just happening, spontaneously. Just as these words are coming out of this mouth, spontaneously. Just like you are effortlessly hearing these words. You don't have to zone in, let me hear. Just like the heart is naturally beating, hormones flooding through the body. It's all very natural. What's unnatural is trying to be natural. And so I know this message isn't helpful for the seeker. But again, I speak to that which is already liberated and already free. And again, freedom isn't a fantasy. Freedom is what is, which could include pain, which could include being tired, hungry, grateful, compassionate, romantic. It's all freedom appearing, my love. All of it. And you don't need to know it. You don't need to remember it. What a wonderful life. That's all, folks. I love you. Namaste.